Hey there, it's now time for lesson 53. For this lesson, we will review numbers 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Since the thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything, the world that pictures them can have no meaning. What is producing this world is insane, and so is what it produces. Reality is not insane, and I have real thoughts as well as insane ones. I can therefore see a real world if I look to my real thoughts as my guide for seeing. If I'm honest with myself and I look back at the past, and even I'm sure it'll happen again in the future, I have definitely had insane thoughts. Insane fears, judgments, worries, all these things that aren't real. And if it's not real, it's insane, right? Maybe. I'm going to look up the definition of insanity. I think it's like doing the same thing and expecting different results. But I don't know if that's actually true. That's something I heard somewhere, and I want to see if it's true. So, insane. What is the definition of insane? In a state of mind that prevents normal perception, behavior, or social interaction. So, that's right on with what we've been talking about of changing our perception and letting our perception be true and real. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, number 12. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Insane thoughts are upsetting. They produce a world in which there is no order anywhere. Only chaos rules a world that represents chaotic thinking, and chaos has no laws. I cannot live in peace in such a world. I am grateful that this world is not real, and that I need not see it at all unless I choose to value it. And I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning. So, okay, I think we've talked about this before. The world you see is not real in the sense that if you are seeing a world of fear and misery and worry, then you are seeing things through the eyes of your ego, and the ego, what it sees is not real. It's not really there. When you let go and you say, I choose not to value these crazy thoughts, I choose not to value fear and worry, I instead choose to value peace and love and joy. When you value those things and let those things be your motivation, be the deciding factor when it comes to anything, what will make you most happy, most peaceful, most joyful, when you follow that path, you will find the real world. And it's not that any of this out here technically changes, but your perception of it does. So in a way it does change, and you have control over the world you live in. We talked about this before, how we all kind of have our own little worlds on this earth, and there's different characters that come in and out of my world that you may never meet or encounter, and they all have their own worlds, and we all have our own little worlds. And some people's world is cloudy and dark, and they're an Eeyore personality. They can change that. You can change that. If you feel like there's a dark cloud following you everywhere, work these lessons and you can get it gone. Okay? All right. Number 3/13. A meaningless world engenders fear. The totally insane engenders fear because it is completely undependable and offers no grounds for trust. Nothing in madness is dependable. It holds out no safety and no hope, but such a world is not real. I have given it the illusion of reality and have suffered from my belief in it. Now I choose to withdraw this belief and place my trust in reality. In choosing this, I will escape all the effects of the world of fear because I am acknowledging that it does not exist. So you might be afraid to let go of fear, but I can say from my experience, letting go of fear and choosing to trust and follow the instinct that feels good and feels right works. I was worried when I quit my teaching job. I finished the school year out last June, but when I was going to end my contract, I was worried that and fearful that the kids would not have a good science teacher because I had been focusing a lot on the science program, kind of creating it from scratch in a way at this private school. And the voice, my higher self, said, you know, maybe there's a teacher that's more qualified for those kids than you, and by not getting out of the way, you're preventing her from being there for them. And that's exactly what happened. So, even if the fear is fear for someone else, fear is fear, and we can't let it be our motivation. If you're choosing to do something because you're afraid of what might happen if you don't, or you're afraid what might happen if you do, that is going to just lead to disappointment and regret. Okay, number 4/14. God did not create a meaningless world. How can a meaningless world exist if God did not create it? He is the source of all meaning and everything that is real in his mind. And everything that is real is in his mind. It is in my mind too, because he created it with me. Why should I continue to suffer from the effects of my own insane thoughts when the perfection of creation is my home? Let me remember the power of my decision and recognize where I really abide. So, people will say, how can God let all this suffering happen? And it's not that he's letting it happen, it's that we're creating it. We're focusing on these things. We're dwelling on them, and our fear and our worry is just creating more of those negative things we don't want to create. The best way to fight any war on whatever is to figure out a way to fill yourself with love and the vibration of love and share that love with everyone you meet, and know that God is only behind those things that come from the vibration of love, which is what he is, or it is. God is simply pure peace and love. That energy, that vibration, that is what drives us and makes creation fun and exciting and easy. But as it's been said before, we're creating whether we acknowledge it or not. We're creating whether we try or not. Our thoughts are creating the world around us. So what you think will become your reality. What do you want your reality to be? Start thinking those thoughts, feeling that way, and believing that it is. And it will be, because it already is. What? Yeah. Okay. Number 5/15. My thoughts are images that I have made. Whatever I see reflects my thoughts. It is my thoughts that tell me where I am and what I am. The fact that I see a world in which there is suffering and loss and death shows me that I am seeing only the representation of my insane thoughts, and am not allowing my real thoughts to cast their beneficent light on what I see. Yet God's way is sure. The images I have made cannot prevail against him, because it is not my will that they do so. My will is his, and I will place no other gods before him. So this is basically saying what I was just saying. Whatever I see reflects my thoughts. So your thoughts tell you where you are and what you are. So if you are seeing a lot of negative things, it's time to check back in and see, what have I been thinking? What have I been dwelling on? And when you change your thoughts, you will change your world. Okay? So have fun with that. And if it feels daunting and overwhelming, you don't feel like you can do it, don't worry. Just take it a little bit at a time. And you will change. You already are changing. And technically, you're not really changing. You're just getting rid of all of that junk that you acquired over the last however many years. And you're getting rid of it, and you're getting back to your true essence, your true self that is happy and trusting and loving and full of joy. It's there. So have fun finding it. All right? See you for lesson 54. Take care.